Taranaki is one of the most beautiful places on the North Island of New Zealand, with its symmetrical stratovolcano, the Taranaki Maunga, endless hiking trails, a ski field and some of the best surf breaks in the country. So in the winter you can go surfing in the morning and skiing or snowboarding in the afternoon. You're going to love this place, whether you're into hiking, photography, water sports or winter sports. Hi, my name is Esther, welcome to my channel. I'm traveling in New Zealand for a year, so if you're curious about New Zealand or how I travel in the country on a working holiday visa, then please subscribe on my channel. It's really a huge help for me, so thank you so much. I spent the winter months house sitting in New Plymouth, which is the biggest town / city in the Taranaki region. And in this video I would like to show you my favorite hikes and the most photogenic places of this region. We're going to start in the city of New Plymouth, go around the mountain on the coast and then arrive at my favorite place in the mountain. So put your hiking boots on and let's go! The city itself offers some really nice walkways, including the almost 13-kilometer long coastal walkway, which runs through beautiful beaches. The iconic Rewa bridge. This bridge was my favorite spot on this walkway. I often came here for the sunset or sunrise to take photos with the mountain in the background. The sunset with the golden hour is also very beautiful, but I have to admit that I enjoyed the sunrises more. I found the lights more beautiful, and it was also interesting to experience how everyone started to wake up, come for a run or a walk. The walkway is also ideal for running, cycling, skateboarding, and you can also walk your dog here. I really enjoyed walking along the coast on a sunny day, watching the surfers and the waves, taking photos of the dogs. This walkway connects with another one called the Henui Walkway, which goes through the city and includes the cemetery as well. As I mentioned before, I was house sitting in New Plymouth looking after pets, and I often came to this cemetery walking the dogs. Now, if you're surprised that someone is going for a walk in a cemetery, then believe me, this cemetery is very well worth the visit. It's beautiful, well maintained, with a lot of different trees and bushes with beautiful flowers. The cemetery has some small hills from where you can have a view of the Taranaki mountain with really interesting photo opportunities. If you want to climb in Taranaki, you don't even have to leave the city. The 156-meter tall Paritutu Rock, which translates as rising precipice, offers panoramic views on the city, the beaches, the mountain and the sea. The climb itself is a very good exercise. It takes 15 to 20 minutes to reach the top, and you have to properly climb the last section using the chains fixed in the rocks. Obviously, the best time to come here is when the sky is clear and you can see the mountain, but it is very popular at sunset as well, and I also came here for the sunrise. It was very windy at the time, but beautiful. They say that Taranaki is a shy mountain, and she often hides behind clouds or fog. Some people who come to Taranaki region might not even get to see the mountain because it just never clears up. And even though the weather can be unpredictable, I highly recommend that you check the weather forecast before coming to the region. It can easily happen that you see the mountain from the city and you decide to climb to the top of Paritutu Rock, but by the time you arrive, it's already covered in cloud. It happened to me. But the opposite can also happen. The mountain might still be covered in clouds when you reach the top, but if you just wait half an hour, it can clear up and you can have a nice view of the mountain. It usually clears up on the sunset, so just be patient and don't give up. Just a few kilometers outside of the city, behind Paritutu Rock, lies the famous Back Beach. It's very popular for surfing, walking the dogs and watching the sunset. I highly recommend that if you can, come here at low tide before sunset, because this provides the best photo opportunities. The rocks shine in a beautiful golden orange color and the sun sets just in front of you. Now let's get a little bit further away from the city. If we drive on the coast to the west, we can visit the shipwrecked ribs of the SS Gairloch, which was wrecked in 1903, and provides interesting photo opportunities with the mountain in the background. The shipwreck is accessible only at low tide, so if you want to have a closer look at this piece of history, then check the tides in advance. If you carry on to the west along the coast, you can find the photogenic Cape Egmont Lighthouse. It was prefabricated in London, then moved here from Manna Island near Wellington in 1881. It is a great place for sunset photography, but check the weather forecast and try to come here when you have a clear view of the mountain. The Dawson Falls and the Wilkies pools are located in the south part of the Taranaki mountain. Both are easy to access from the visitor center on very well maintained walkways/tracks. You can walk to the Dawson Falls from the Carpark within 15 minutes, and it takes roughly half an hour to reach the Wilkies pools. The Wilkies pools must be very refreshing in the summer when it's hot. But as I mentioned before, I was hiking in Taranaki in the winter when I really didn't want to swim in the pools. When you reach the pools, you can climb on the rocks to reach a point where you have a beautiful view with the pools and with the mountain in the background. But if you come here in the winter, be very careful because it can be icy and slippery and dangerous to climb the rocks. You can hike to the Wilkies pools also from Stratford Plateau Carpark, which also takes roughly half an hour. From the car park, you're going downhill, and in my opinion, this trek is more picturesque than the one leading from Dawson Falls Visitor Center. Even though it's a little bit challenging to get there with a camper van, it's well worth the drive. There are many beautiful hiking trails starting from this car park, but if you want to have a beautiful view of the mountain, you don't need to go very far. This viewing platform is only a couple of minutes walking from the car park. This car park is also the entrance to Manganui ski field. I highly recommend that you visit this ski field even if you don't do any winter sports or if you come here outside of the ski season. The hike to the ski field takes around half an hour and you go through this new, impressive bridge. In clear weather, you have beautiful views not only of Taranaki mountain but also of Tongariro National Park. This roughly 4-hour hike is accessible from the visitor center in North Taranaki at the end of Egmont Road. There are quite a lot short and long hikes starting from this visitor center, and many of them are easy to do even in the winter. The one that I did includes a trek that is officially a summer trek only, and I highly recommend that you do this hike either in the summer or very close to summer. I did this hike on a beautiful, warm, sunny winter day, and I have to admit that it was not the smartest decision of my life. The trek can get very icy and slippery and therefore relatively dangerous in the winter, so unless you have crampons and experience in mountaineering, you should avoid this trek in the winter. I survived though, but I learned a lesson. Like I said, the weather can change very quickly and unexpectedly in Taranaki. You can never really know what to expect, so always check the weather forecast for the mountain in advance and regularly, and just be prepared for anything. Hiking in the mountain can be exhausting, so let's take a break by this pretty lake with these cute animals. The lake is just a 50-minute drive away from the city, and is perfect for a picnic, for running, for photography, and there are even mountain biking trails. The hike around the lake is dog-friendly and you can do it in roughly an hour. If you're feeling very lazy and tired, don't fret. The lookouts are very easy to access, even by car. I visited this lake several times and at different times of the day, and it was always amazing. I loved taking photos at sunrise and walking through the forest in the late afternoon. But you have to be careful here as well, even though I never encountered any sandflies here, but a friend of mine who came here in late August ended up with a lot of bites after his yoga session by the lake. And now it's time to visit my ultimate favorite place, and in my opinion the best hike in the Taranaki mountain. The reflective tarn on the Pouakai circuit is probably the most famous, most popular and most photographed place, not only in Taranaki region, but on the whole North Island as well. You can easily reach the tarn even in the winter from Manganui Road Carpark. The hike itself is a bit strenuous with an elevation of 600 or 700 meters, but has a very well maintained boardwalk which makes it easy to hike. It takes approximately 1.5 to 2 hours to hike to the Tarn, and there is no potable water, so bring enough water with you. I can't emphasize enough how quickly the weather changes in Taranaki mountain, so it's best not to come here with any expectations. If you want to see the reflection in the mountain, try to pick a clear and quiet day. One advice I can give you is that if you arrive at the Tarn and it's cloudy as, just be patient, trust the mountain, and hope that the clouds will go away. If you have time, I encourage you to just sit and wait because it tends to clear up around sunset. This is the hike that I can highly recommend if you're traveling alone, because it's just so easy to approach people and make new friends sitting here beside the Tarn looking at the mountain. If you started the hike early enough and still have plenty of time until sunset, you can carry on and hike until the Pouakai Summit. It's about a 45-minute hike from the Tarn and has no boardwalk, so it can get very, very muddy sometimes. The Bells Falls are a little bit further away, roughly 2 hours from the Tarn, but well worth the hike. The hike to the falls is very easy, basically only downhill on well-maintained paths through forest and wetlands. But then you have to hike back the same way and it will be very steep and strenuous, so try to hike as light as possible. The hike to the Tarn, to the summit and to the falls is a full day hike and is doable in a day, but if you have the time for it, I highly recommend that you spend the night in the newly renovated and just recently reopened Pouakai hut. Bring a warm sleeping bag as it can get really cold at nights, and enough drinking water or camping equipment to boil the water here. If you are into astrophotography, it is also one of the best places on the North Island to take some stunning photos of the Milky Way with the mountain and the stars being reflected in the Tarn. Don't forget to set your alarm and see the sunrise at the Tarn. Like I said before, be positive, hopeful and patient. Even if it seems cloudy and foggy at the beginning, it can still clear up later on. These were my favorite walks and hikes in Taranaki and in New Plymouth, and as a bonus I include an extra, equally beautiful walk. The Three Sisters and the Elephant Rock formations are about an hour drive north from New Plymouth. If you come here at low tide, you can walk until the Sisters. Just try not to lose your flip-flops, maybe better if you leave them in the car. If, for whatever reason, it's not possible to time your arrival at low tide, don't worry, you can still have a beautiful view of the Sisters from this lookout. Thank you for walking and hiking with me through mud and dirt. I hope you enjoyed the views. If yes, please hit the like button and let me know which hike and which lookout was your favorite. And if you would like to see more beautiful places in New Zealand, then please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, have a beautiful day, and I see you in the next video.